Your first storyteller is Jack Paul Veatch. He recently graduated from the University of Chicago, and he was ordained like 9 days ago in Ohio. I got to. Most of his stories involve failing in some way, so we had a hard time picking just one. He loves to garden, play basketball, swim, and even though he's tired of school, he will be moving to Switzerland to pursue a certificate in ecumenical studies. He's hoping that the way he fails there will make great stories. Won't you join me? Let's welcome Jack Veatch.
All right, Jack. If we get you this violin, you have to stick with it. A warning from my mother to lend some gravity to the purchase we were about to make. We had been renting a 3/4 size violin for my orchestra lessons in the 5th and 6th grade, and my little intermediate school arms could not quite grasp the full violin yet. But with puberty in the 7th grade, there was now a need for me to have a full-size violin if I were to keep playing. So we stopped in Stowe, Ohio's local instrument shop, and we browsed the available violins. You have to stick with it, was my mom's warning. Why wouldn't I? I loved playing violin. I even practiced at home, which is a difficult thing to get a kid to do, especially if that kid loves video games. I practiced at home. I even memorized my sheet music. The bus driver yelled at me every time I tried to pull out that 3/4 size violin and entertain my fellow riders on the way home. I think, maybe some part of me thought that playing the violin would impress all the other people on the bus, especially the girls. I had a middle schooler's mind on this. And I am sure, because they told me, my parents grew tired of hearing me play my favorite part of Stairway to Heaven. It goes, if there's a bustle in your hedgerow, don't be alarmed now. I really like that part. Da, 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 da. I would play it over and over again. But with a ton of unnecessary vibrato, which would make even the most diva of performances of the national anthem be ashamed. It was bad. Not Fergie bad, but it was bad. I loved playing violin, and I was good at it, despite my vibrato. Once a week, they took the gifted students out of class for extra lessons, and I was one of those kids. I was a first chair violin. That's something special. I will, I told my mother with the confidence of a 12-year-old. I'll stick with it. We hopped into the car, now owners of a full-size violin. 7th grade. We're going to have the second violins play that again. We played it. I can't remember what song it was, but I do remember that particular part we were playing, it had an F sharp, and somebody was playing an F. That somebody was me. We played the part again. The first F was an accident. The second F was on purpose. Mrs. Hamilton, the orchestra conductor, and I were rivals at this point. I'm not sure I could pinpoint exactly what happened between us, but I made it a mission to make her life miserable, which in some law of reciprocity made my life miserable as well. I had a lunch detention nearly every single day of the 7th grade. This bright-eyed, bushy-tailed, intermediate school kid who played his violin every chance he got was rushed by middle school. And in that orchestra room, my time and mental energy were spent trying to figure out just one more way I could annoy the hell out of my teacher without technically breaking the rules. I was that kid. So after the second violins played that part again, and I played the wrong note again, Mrs. Hamilton had us play the part again, but individually this time. The first chair went, nailed it. Second chair went, nailed it. It was an easy part. Then it came to me. Second violin, last chair. I run through the part, I play every note. I nailed it. All right, said Mrs. Hamilton. Let's play all together one more time. With the shit-eating grin of a kid with a devious plan, I put bow to string, and I played the F, not the F sharp. Great, she said. That was perfect, let's move on. It seems not necessary to say that I did not play in the orchestra in the 8th grade. A couple of years ago, my parents moved from my childhood home in Ohio to Texas. And as a product of moving, they had to clear out all the crap that their children dumped onto them as they grew up. So around Christmas time of that year, I went to my childhood home and I cleaned out most of my junk. They still have a lot of my junk. And one of those things, which I suppose is junk to me now, is that full-size violin. I took it out of the case, and I plucked the strings, tuning it the best I could, the best I remembered. And I picked up the bow, and I had to tighten it because the horsehair on the bow loosens over time if it's not kept up. So I had to tighten it so it was taut, so that it could play on the strings and resonate and make a noise. My fingers remembered right where they should start. I wanted to play Dragon Hunter, one of those 5th grade songs that I loved because I really liked medieval fantasy. And I crooked the violin under my chin, on my shoulder, fingers in place, bow on the string. I pulled the bow across, and a horrendous sound came out. A half-alive noise of a bow that couldn't quite grip the string the way that it used to. Out of tune to what I remembered, what I expected Dragon Hunter to sound like, what it was supposed to sound like. I packed up that full-size violin and I never saw it again. And there are times when I'm humming, or when I pass by a piano, I can still play Dragon Hunter. The first run of notes is drilled into my brain forever, and it never sounds quite as bad as that time I tried to play it on my old violin with a unrosined bow that couldn't grip the strings, but never feels as good or as joyful as playing it on the bus. Violin crooked under my chin, bow sawing away.